Hi everyone, welcome to Lola's Frugal Life. This is episode number 130. This is my weekly meal plan episode. So please stick around for a few quick words from our sponsor and we'll get right into the show. Hi everyone, welcome back to my weekly meal plan episode. If you're new here, each week I share with everyone my weekly meal plan that I have for my family. The idea of the episode is just that if you want to follow along, you can. Or maybe it'll just give you some ideas of some things you might want to make. Or maybe it'll just motivate you to sit down and get your meal plan together. I think meal planning is really important because it saves a lot of money by buying only what you need. It makes life easier by knowing what you're going to make each night and not having to think about it. You just look at your meal plan and say, okay, this is what we're doing today. And it just makes life a lot easier and makes it less likely to order out, which is healthier too. And in addition to that, what I do to make it even easier is I use a very simple meal rotation. So there's food that we generally eat and I kind of repeat the same recipes over time. I use like a general rotation, like certain things are every 2 weeks, certain things are once a month, things like that. So you will definitely notice there's repetition just because I've set it up that way to make life easy for me. If we have hamburgers on Monday, 2 weeks, we have hamburgers again. I put it on the meal plan as soon as we have it this night. I put it ahead 2 weeks. So the meal plans kind of build themselves. So that's just a tip. If you're not following my actual meal plan and you're just creating a meal plan, to maybe try it out that way to kind of create like a certain cycle where you can say, okay, we're going to have this meal, whatever frequency. And as soon as you have it, go ahead that period of time on your meal plan and plot it on again, and your meal plan will kind of build itself as you get to the future weeks because you'll be filling in the days as you go along. I do add new recipes here and there, but it's definitely mostly the rotation of the recipes that we typically eat. And, I'll switch out sides as much as I can, stuff like that. But if it's just a crazy time, I don't worry too much about it. I just get our standards in there and that's it. I do also share with you where these recipes are located for any recipes that have like an actual website you can go to, and I also post those on my Facebook page. The meal plan comes out every Wednesday, and it starts, like the actual plan itself starts Saturday and goes through the following Friday. That's just how I do it. Obviously, you can have the meals whatever days you want if you're following along. But the reason I do it that way is because I want to allow you enough time to go grocery shopping if you were planning on following along with the meal plan. So this week's meal plan starts on Saturday, December 5th. So on Saturday, we are doing once a month cooking. It's like OAMC. It stands for once a month cooking. Cheesy chicken tater tot casserole. This is from geniuskitchen.com. It's intended to be a recipe that you could prepare in advance, like in that once a month cooking thing. I don't know what you call it, method, where you prepare a bunch of meals in advance and freeze them, and then you can like cook them on the night you're going to have it. This is one of those recipes that you would just pre-prepare and then dump in the crock pot to cook it. It's not pre-cooked. It's just you kind of put all the ingredients together, freeze it, and then the night you're going to have it, you can put it in the crock pot that morning. But I'm actually not making this as a freezer meal, that type of cooking. I'm just making the recipe. And it's what it is a crock pot meal, and it's tater tot. It's like tater tots, chicken breast, cheddar cheese, milk. It's not like one of the healthier recipes, but it's really good, and my kids ask to have it like once in a while, so it's something that I just kind of throw in on a weekend, on an occasion. It's not one of our regular, rotations, but it's pretty good. It's basically like chicken and tater tots and cheese all cooked in the crock pot, so that's pretty much what the recipe is. So that is for Saturday. For Sunday, we're doing bacon wrapped chicken in the oven. I actually use turkey bacon for this, just because that's just kind of what I've always used, and it comes out really good like that. This is from allrecipes.com, and what this is you pretty much take chicken breast, you put like cream cheese in the center, and then you like kind of close the chicken breast and you wrap it with bacon, and it bakes with like a creamy sauce kind of over it, like that's made basically with like a cream of chicken soup. I think you might mix it with something to make like the sauce. I don't remember exactly how the recipe is followed, but that's generally what it is. It comes out really good though. I like it as like, you know, something that we make. Again, this is more like a once in a while type recipe. But with that, we're doing air fryer asparagus fries, which is from allrecipes.com. And it's pretty much just asparagus in the air fryer. It's coated with egg and honey and then dipped in breadcrumbs. You could even just do plain asparagus in the air fryer or roast it in the oven or on the stove, however you like to make it. And then I'm just doing some rice on the side. No recipe, just whatever I happen to have. Sometimes I'll do like flavored rice, or sometimes I'll just do plain rice, whatever we have on hand. So that is for Sunday. I just realized too, I forgot to mention, my meal plan is only for dinners. I don't plan for breakfast and lunches unless it's like a very special occasion. We just basically eat what we have, or we eat leftovers or frozen meals or whatever, things like that, sandwiches, stuff like that for lunches. Okay, so Monday we're doing hamburgers, and I don't have a recipe for that. It's just ground beef hamburgers. I just make them into patties and cook them up and put a little seasoning on. And then we're doing oven fresh seasoned potato wedges. That's from allrecipes.com. It's really just a simple potato recipe where you take a potato, you don't even have to peel it. You cut it up into eighths. You just slice a potato up into eighths to make a bunch of wedges. And you put it in a Ziploc bag with, it's like olive oil, Parmesan cheese, onion powder, garlic powder, that type of thing. You shake it up, put it on a baking tray, bake it in the oven. They come out really good, and they're definitely a good side for hamburgers. And then we're also doing just a can of pork and beans. And I happen to have some Impossible burgers that I had purchased for a camping trip. They're frozen, so we had a bunch left over for my one daughter who doesn't eat meat. So for her, I was going to pull out Impossible burger and cook that up for her main meal. I don't normally buy those. I just happen to buy them because they're pretty expensive too, and I rather make her like some homemade vegetarian type stuff. But I happen to have them, like I said, from that camping trip left over in my freezer. So I've been pulling them out once in a while and making that for her when we have hamburgers. Okay, so that was Monday. Tuesday, we're doing Chipotle night. So for Chipotle night, what I do is I take chicken and I cut it up in small little pieces, and I toss it in olive oil and just like some seasoned salt and some chili powder. And I broil it until it gets just like a little bit crispy on the top, almost like a grilled chicken type consistency. And I make some brown rice. So I put out brown rice, I put out the chicken, I put out salsa, sour cream, avocado, cheese, black beans, all that kind of stuff, like how you would make a bowl at Chipotle. And that's what it's like a make at home Chipotle night. So that's what we are having for Tuesday. So there's no real recipe for that, but it's basically like what I just said. You just kind of make all those different sides and toppings, and everyone can make their own bowl however they like to have it. Oh, salsa too I put out. I don't remember if I mentioned that. Then for Wednesday, we are doing porcupines again. We had this a few weeks ago, I think, and we hadn't had them in a while prior to that, and everybody commented how they really liked them, and we hadn't had them in a while, so I figured I'd make them again. This recipe is from allrecipes.com, and what porcupines are is pretty much, well, at least this recipe, this is the only recipe I know of, but it's, you take ground turkey and you make like little meatballs with them, but the meatballs have white rice in the meatballs. I wound up using instant rice last time I did it because I have had times where the white rice didn't fully cook enough and it was almost a little bit crispy inside, like it just didn't fully cook. So to make sure that didn't happen, the last time I made them I used instant rice and it came out perfect. But what you do is you pretty much just mix the rice in with the ground turkey and water, and you make like a little like meatball, and you just brown them real quick on the stovetop, and then you put them in a baking dish with sauce that has like extra liquid in it, and like it's like a red sauce, tomato sauce, and then you cover foil, bake it in the oven. It absorbs the water, the rice cooks. It's got like this nice sauce, and they're pretty good. I like them. So we're doing that, and then normally I serve them with mashed potatoes, if you'd rather do it that way. This time we're doing air fryer roasted cauliflower. That recipe is from allrecipes.com. It's called air fryer roasted cauliflower and broccoli. I usually just choose one or the other, cauliflower or broccoli. I don't usually do both, just because it's, I don't know, it just seems like too much to buy, because they usually come in kind of bigger, you know, like amounts, and I don't really want to make that much for my side dish. So I usually just mix it up. This time I'm going to do cauliflower. And then I'm just going to do a can of canned corn. The reason I'm not doing mashed potatoes is because we've eaten so many mashed potatoes in the last week after Thanksgiving. We had so many leftovers from Thanksgiving that we kept eating them with like every single meal. I would make like a main dish, and then I'd pull out all the leftovers and we'd have mashed potatoes and stuffing and gravy and this corn casserole that I make, and we wound up even making way more sides than I even had if you had listened to the meal plan that included Thanksgiving. My one daughter was like, "Oh, but you're not making this and you're not making that," and so I had to make like, I think I added like 3 or 4 more sides to what we even had on our meal plan. So we had so much leftovers, and I was just like, I just don't want to eat mashed potatoes again. But if you would like to have that, it does go really good with the porcupines. That's what I normally serve with them. So that's Wednesday. Thursday we're doing crock pot potato soup. I kind of made this somewhat recently, but I just felt like making it again. It's so easy. What you do is you take a bag of frozen hash brown potatoes, and I'm sorry, I don't have a recipe link for this one, but it's very minimal ingredients, so I'll just tell you really quick. It's 32-ounce bag of potatoes. I get the kind that are like, I don't know if they're actually called hash browns. They're not the shredded ones. They're like the little diced up potatoes, and they usually have like peppers and onions in them. So you get a bag of that, and you it's a 32-ounce box of vegetable broth. I use bouillon, but you can do it however you want. A can of cream of mushroom soup, and that's it. And you just let it cook in the crock pot all day on low for like 8 hours. And then that's it. You just mix it up, and you can put like some cheddar cheese sprinkled on top when the soup is done. Add like a little salt to it at the end, but you really don't need much. But it's just a simple potato soup, but we all really like it. And I'm gonna make grilled cheese on the side with that. So that's Thursday. So the last recipe of the week is for Friday, December 11th. And Friday we are doing penne with broiled chicken. Again, this one I do not have a recipe link for, but what I do for this is I just take chicken breast, cut it in small little pieces, toss it with some olive oil, salt and pepper, and maybe like a little garlic powder. Broil it under the oven. In the meantime, I make penne pasta, and I just toss the penne pasta with some olive oil and salt and some of the garlic powder also. And then when the chicken's done, I toss the chicken in with the penne pasta. Or sometimes I'll leave the chicken on the side because my one daughter doesn't eat meat, so I'll just toss the penne with the mozzarella cheese. And then anyone can add the chicken to it. Like, so whoever going to eat the chicken can add the chicken, and whoever isn't, which would just be my one daughter, would just eat the pasta with the mozzarella cheese. But what I do is I take it off the heat, like fully, and put it in a bowl before I toss in the mozzarella. That way it doesn't like fully melt. It just kind of slightly melts and mixes through the pasta. It comes out really good. So that's what we're doing for Friday. And then I'm probably just going to do like a thing of like a side of like frozen vegetables, like a steam fresh type frozen vegetable, whatever I happen to have in the freezer. I always try and keep some of those on hand. So that's it for this week's meal plan. I hope this is helpful to you. If you have any feedback you'd like to share with me on this or any of my other episodes, you can reach me at facebook.com/Lola's Frugal Life. We also have a private listeners group if you're interested in joining. You can find that at facebook.com/groups/Lola's Frugal Life. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this show, and if you'd be kind enough to leave me a 5-star rating, I'd really appreciate it. It's supposed to really help with having others be able to find the show. It improves the search results. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a really awesome day.